Alright, how's it going everybody? My name is Roma, welcome to the channel. Thank you so much for stopping by. So I got an interesting deck profile for you guys. It is True Draco mixed with Eldritch. I like to call it El Draco. It is a deck that I played basically back when Master Duel first came out. It basically got me all the way to the top rank with I think only one loss throughout the entire journey. So I figured why not play it now since trap decks are in a pretty good position since cashier get hit and stuff like that. And also, if you do hear my kid or my girlfriend or my dog in the background, I'm sorry. This microphone picks up everything. I'm trying to figure that out. But anyways, so yeah, I went undefeated at a tournament. I think, I did win undefeated. I only had one draw, and it was the last round, which is funny enough. It was against an Eldritch deck. I should have won. I just misplayed when I looked at the time. I freaked out. And I went to battle phase. I completely forgot that I do run in my extra deck the Gustav Max, and I was just like, I'm an idiot, but you know, we live and we learn. So anyways, moving on to the deck profile. Oh, before we start that, obviously like and subscribe, help your boy out. We hit 200 subs, so thank you guys so much. I might be doing something special for the 500 sub mark when I get there. I haven't figured it out yet, but I will let you guys know. And also I will show how this deck kind of synergizes with one another, so just bear with me. So starting off, we play the 3 Dynamites, the 3 Ignis, and then the 1 Majesty Maiden. This is cuttable. This came up like a few times, but it's not really all that needed. And that would be it for the 2 Draco monsters. I played the 2 Golden Lords. You don't need any more than this, obviously. And then I played, for the last monsters, is the 2 wannabes. I do not play any hand traps. You do not need it in this deck. You could, but the thing is that you would have to cut out some very viable cards that you're going to need. So I just advise not to do it. I mean, you could cut out the wannabes, but I think these just help out so much to find your missing puzzle piece, really. So you do the diagram with the terraforming, obviously. Then I played the 3 disciples. The 3 disciples with the 2 heritage. You don't need to play 3 heritage. You may be able to play only 2 of these. I figured 3 because a lot of the times your cards are going to be sent to the graveyard pretty easily. So you need a way of pretty much cycling them right back. So I normally side deck one of these out every time. And I did 1 Cursed Eldland. This card is insane in this deck because you can always just tribute it, and then it gives you another name in the graveyard. So then you get to your Eldritch monster on your opponent's turn, and you also get a monster on your side of the field, which would be obviously your True Draco monster. So yeah, this card was really good in this deck. You could possibly play 2 of them, but this one always came up a lot. Then for the pot cards, played 3 pot prosperities. You can easily take this one out and just put in extravagance if you would rather go for the draw 2 cards. I played prosperity because I wanted to like dig for the missing puzzle piece, because a lot of your inboards is going to be at least 1 True Draco monster, at least 1 Floodgate trap card, and then at least like a Sanguine. That's typically the end of your turn. What your field will look like doesn't look like much, but it's a lot compared to a lot of the decks in this format. So 3 pot of dualities. You don't special summon except for the Golden Lord, but you mostly special summon him on your opponent's turn. There's times where you will special summon it on your turn, but most of the times if you have to do that, you probably won't even have this card in your hand, so it doesn't hurt to play it. For traps, we did 2 True King Returns, and then the 2 Apocalypse. For those of you who don't know what these 2 cards can do, basically you can have like this endless, not an endless loop, but this cycle where your opponent is always going to keep getting their monsters half permanently. You basically just have this and this activate on your turn, well, on the field, and then you'll have a True Draco monster in your graveyard. You just keep reborning it, and then just keep tributing it to keep halving your opponent's monsters continuously. So, and then you got your 2 Sanguines. You do not need to play 3 of these. You just play a small package of the Eldritch cards, like you just play 2 Conquistadors and then 1 Jaguero. You don't need to play 3 of any of these cards whatsoever, because Eldritch is not really your end-all be-all of the deck. Remember, it's the True Draco cards. Those are the monsters that matter the most. Your Eldritch monster is just there for an interruption. It just adds an extra look play style to the deck. You know, an annoying kind of card, because basically the whole deck just like floats itself. So having another monster that floats with other trap cards that float with it is pretty good. And then for the floodgates, the 3 skill drains, and then the 3 there can only be ones. Typically, like I said, one of these 2 is always going to be the missing puzzle piece that you would tend to find in your opening hands. So that's why I played the Prosperity over the Extravagance, because I would rather try to see if I can land one of these 2 over just drawing 2 and hoping that I draw into it. And that's also why I play the wannabes as well, just to try to get into it. I'm going to do the side deck first, because the extra deck does not matter, really. So I played the 3 Ghost Reapers. Never come up, but they can, just in case, if you do have like those Kashtira matches. Because I think Kashtira was probably the hardest matchup for this deck. I did not play any, but I'm pretty sure Kashtira would probably be the hardest matchup. 3 Gamma Seals. For the Kashtira matchup, really. Did 3 Ultimate Slayers. These came up. I absolutely liked it a lot in this deck. 3 Anti-Spells, just another floodgate for us to run. Why not? Hurts a lot of the runic stuff. And then for the last 3 cards was the 3 Evenly Matches. I believe this came up quite a few times. Anti-Spells never came up because I just didn't match anyone playing spell decks, really. I think I did side it in once, but I don't remember it doing much. But the Evenlies definitely came up a lot. It doesn't hurt this deck whatsoever, because your battle phase is not really that crazy. So you can afford to get rid of your battle phase for at least 1 turn. And then for the part that doesn't really matter, you can play this however you want, because again, we're playing the Ultimate Slayers and we're playing the Reaper Cherries. I built this extra deck really quick, right before, like, the day of, like maybe 2 hours before the tournament started. I just put it together. No thought process whatsoever into it, so I just play like the basic generic stuff. So the 1 Gustav Cannon that I should have went into like an idiot. This thing, I guess I think these are the only ones you can actually make within this deck. This thing, this is pretty good for the Ultimate Slayer. If your opponent has an Xyz monster like that Bagushka, if they have Bagushka in defense and they have like another card on the field, you can just send this with Ultimate Slayer, bounce back to Bagushka, and then this can target the other face-up card and pretty much negate it for the turn. So it's pretty good. Gigantic Sprite and the Rise Heart and the Zeus, you could possibly make this, but not really. These are just Ultimate. These are Winter Cherry targets. So more Winter Cherry targets was this. There is, I don't know why. Like I said, I just put it together really quickly, so I just threw that in there. Ultimate Slayer target. Another Ultimate Slayer target. Another Ultimate. Just all this is basically Ultimate Slayer targets. Garura and the Entis. I think Entis came up. Never sent the Garura. And then we have another Winter Cherry target. And these last ones are also Winter Cherry targets, which is just just in case if I hit the Sky Striker players, also if I hit the Live Twin players, and if I hit someone that was playing anything that needs an access code target to push for games. So that is basically it. Like I said, the extra deck is completely flexible. It all depends on basically your locals or something like that. Overall, this deck was, for me, it was extremely fun to play. I know playing against it is very annoying because the 2 decks just synergize really well, and I'll show exactly why they synergize very well. It's because basically your True Draco trap cards and your True Draco spell cards, for those who don't know, if these cards get sent from the field to the graveyard, they basically get another effect. So the spell cards can pop a back row card, and then the trap cards can pop a monster card. So, and to get your True Draco monsters out, you basically just tribute your continuous spells or traps. So, your Eldritch cards are continuous traps, so you can tribute these to summon out your True Draco monsters. On end phase, you can banish them to get your Sanguine out. So that leads you to your Elden Lord. Your Elden Lord, if he's in the graveyard, you can send a spell or trap on your side of the field to the graveyard to summon it, to bring it back to hand, to then summon itself. So basically, if you have a True Draco trap card on your side of the field and your opponent has a monster, well, you can honestly, you can just do a lot. Like, say if you have the Eldritch in your hand with another trap or spell in your hand, you can just send to the graveyard to get rid of a card on your opponent's side of the field. You can set your True Draco trap card, get rid of that to add back your Golden Lord to your hand to special summon him, and then the trap card can trigger to then pop another monster on your opponent's side of the field. So it's basically a pretty good interruption that you can do. It can break boards pretty easily. It doesn't, like I said, it doesn't put up too big of a board. It puts up a monster, a Sanguine mostly, and a Floodgate card. But that alone is just enough to hit and tear down a lot of these decks that are being played right now. Very annoying for your opponents, but very fun for you to play. And I hope you guys enjoyed the video. And I will see you all in the next one. Peace.